There's something I haven't done in a long time, and that is to make something just because I wanted to. Not because it will make me money or grow my business. For once, I decided to say whatever and make something beautiful for fun and not profit. See, for the longest time, ever since I turned my passion into a business, I've made decisions for my business based on a very popular principle: profit first. Because it's not a real business if you're not making money right away, right? So I hustled. Did I make money right away? No. I guess that meant my business wasn't a real business, right? Just a hobby? Sure didn't feel like a hobby. I was pouring hours and hours of work into something that once made me so excited I couldn't sleep because I had a project in my head I wanted to make the next morning. But the sleeplessness from excitement turned into sleeplessness from anxiety. Why haven't I made more sales? What's wrong with me? Why haven't I broken through yet? So I continued to hustle. I worked my ass off learning all about stuff I had zero idea about: marketing, inventory management, cost of goods, wholesaling, and slowly it began to pay off. Suddenly, from pure luck, one of my listings on Etsy took off. Overnight, I went from one order a week to 20 a day. My dream came true. I had sales. I was a real business now. But wait, why am I so stressed out? This is what I wanted, what I dreamt of. Over time, I ignored my feelings of uncertainty and just pushed through. I just kept working. I thought it was normal to feel this way. Soon, I'll feel boss enough to hire people and be a real business. Because, yeah, even though my small business was flourishing and making me and my husband more than enough to live on, I still felt like my business wasn't real. I was doing more than okay. Why doesn't this feel right? Why doesn't this feel good? So this is the color you get if you choose to color your sugar scrubs with indigo powder, and it is the softest blue, and I love it. And the scent is very floral, perfect for spring, and it'll make the perfect companion product to my bath bombs that I made earlier with the melted pour flowers. So this sugar scrub is going to be very similar to that. I definitely think I want to move towards more and more natural colorants. Ever since I've done the first few products with the natural colors, I've gotten such a good response from both my viewers on YouTube and my customers of my company. People seem to be really enjoying the colors that I'm achieving just through botanicals. In this case, this is indigo powder, but I've used matcha and spirulina and green clay to create that really beautiful emerald olive color for the green tea soaps, which I'm hoping to also release in a couple of days. And that is darkening nicely. For the sugar scrubs on my core line, I do have a few more jars, but I think I'm going to let them just sell out. I might restock a few of the best sellers, but I don't know, my creativity bug has got a hold on me, and I just can't resist the challenge of making new products and just making whatever I want. That's where I'm at right now in my business, is creating for me and putting so much love and excitement into these products. I've been playing around with calling this Monday's release the Tea Garden or Tea Garden Party collection, because it really does encapsulate a very delicate feminine floral energy and just the idea of a tea party that you're celebrating with your best girlfriends and in the middle of a beautiful garden, spring blossoms coming out. That's the vibe I'm trying to achieve with these products. I definitely made the whole of the sugar scrub bag way too small. Let me get that bigger. I usually like the holes of these sugar scrubs bags to be way bigger so that it goes faster. There we go. That's what we're talking about. Oh, this color is just gorgeous too. So here are the finished scrubs, and I think they look beautiful, but I'm not quite done yet. I want to add a last decorative touch to them. I'm going to top them with these beautiful, delicate peach blossoms, which is a super soft pink with a light green base. And I'm just going to put a single one on each sugar scrub as a topper. It'll just be a really pretty surprise when my customer opens up the sugar scrub and sees it. When putting botanicals in any of your skincare, you really want to make sure that that botanical is completely dried. You can make your own using a dehydrator, or you can also just buy them online. I find them pretty cost effective. I find them pretty affordable to get them online. And I think against this soft blue, that little pop of pink and green just looks magical, and I love it. So here are the finished scrubs. I am so happy with how they turned out. All natural colorants, which is actually amazing. The Indigo Peony scrub is turning bluer by the minute. I cannot believe this is a natural colorant because it looks like such a pretty shade of blue. And the matcha green looks incredible. I love that. The Brazilian purple clay gives this lavender scrub such a pretty muted purple, but I just think it looks so beautiful. I love it. So now I just have to take a quick picture of them for the product listing and then cap them, and then I'm done. That's awesome. Today's a new day, and I'm going to be making soap using indigo powder, hopefully to achieve a nice blue, but we'll see. I've used indigo powder in the past, but only when adding it straight to the soap at trace. But today I'm going to try using a little bit of it in lye water to see whether or not the heat of the lye solution will draw out the blue properties of the indigo powder and hopefully achieving a more true blue in the soap. But we'll see, we're experimenting here. So the lye water right now is super hot, and it's a good time to be adding indigo powder because the heat hopefully draws the blue out of the powder, even though it looks blue to the eye here. Sometimes when you add indigo powder to soap, it doesn't come out this color. Here is that beautiful indigo powder. This stuff is super pigmented, and this comes from a plant, so it is considered a natural colorant, and people have been using it for centuries as a dye for their clothes, and now we're going to use it for a dye for our soaps. So here is our lye water. That's very hot right now. What I'm going to do is add 2 tablespoons. And we just stir it in. Another way you can work with indigo is to infuse it in oil or even alcohol. You can do a cold infusion, which is basically adding the powder to an oil that's at room temperature and letting it sit for weeks. You could also warm it in oil, which will cut down the infusion time. Or you can do it like this. You just add the powder straight to the lye water or even just straight to the soap at trace. But if you do take the time to infuse it, that's supposed to really bring out the blue of the soap. So if this doesn't turn out as blue as I want it to, then we'll know. And as you can see, this stuff does not disperse in water easily. Kind of sits on top of it. So I'm not going to worry too much about mixing it thoroughly. I'm just going to let it sit and let it do its thing as the lye cools down. So the lye water is cooled to below 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is where I like to soap at. And so now we're just going to start soaping away. This is going to be just a one-colored soap, and it should be pretty straightforward. So let's go ahead and pour. So it has lightened up a little bit, but it is definitely a blue. There is a hint of green in the hue of this, but I think it's still giving blue. I actually really do like this shade. I think it's very sophisticated. So we are ready to remove this from the mold and cut it. I love this part of soap making, the unmolding of the soap. And with these molds from Winston and Walter, they make the unmolding part so easy. And this is why I'm leaning towards just creating whatever I want, because if I had just worried about replacing or restocking what's on my website, then I wouldn't have the opportunity to make a soap like this. I think that is so beautiful. Wow. So I didn't exactly measure where the wires are going to cut my soap. So we might have some rosebud casualties over here. All right, here we go. Here's the cut of my indigo soap. And we definitely have some rosebud casualties. That is okay. But this is basically how it turned out. This beautiful shade of blue. Managed to get the rosebuds good on this one. It was a close call with a rosebud on this. These aren't rosebuds actually, these are peach blossoms. I hope it's translating as blue because it's a little bluer to me than it is on camera. So when I edit, hopefully it comes through. You see how it's darker in the middle? It did complete gel phase, but it just was a little bit hotter in the middle than it is around the ring. So we managed to avoid a distinct line, which is what you might get when a soap partially gels. So as it continues to cure, that spot is going to disappear and the soap is going to be that dark color throughout. Well, so far, I'm glad that each bar got its own little rosebud. Peach blossom. This is so pretty. And then once I laser engrave the soap name or scent name onto this and add all of my touches to it, it's gonna be so amazing, I think. And it'll truly be a product that I'm extremely proud to sell. I've been proud of all of my products, but I don't know if I've pushed myself as creatively as I've wanted to. And I do want this next phase of my business to be that, is to be just making what strikes me. I think when it comes to creating a soap business, it's more important to think about the goal that you want and all of the steps that it will take you to get there, rather than comparing whatever stage you are at the moment to somebody else who has a completely different journey. If my goal was to make as much money as possible, as quickly as possible, then I would be thinking about strategies on how to make my processes faster. I would be intensely researching what's currently selling right now, and there's a whole bunch of ways to go about it. And if I think about the steps that it takes to get to that certain goal, I need to really be honest with myself and ask myself, do I want to do all of that? Am I the type of person to be a leader, an employer of many employees, somebody who's able to get down and really research things so that I'm optimizing every single little thing? And if I look at those steps and I don't align with what it takes to get to that specific goal, then I need to change my goals. Because once I did do that exercise, I realized that isn't me. My ultimate goal when it comes to my soap business is do something that I love and to have the freedom to be able to do that. Will that make me a millionaire? Probably not, but at least I'll have time with my husband. At least I'll be able to create what I want. At least I'll find happiness in what I do. It really comes down to certain personality types. And that's why I see a lot of stories of burnout in this community, because people are trying to reconcile their decision to start making soap as a business with the fact that they're not business minded or business or profit minded, I guess. And I do want to acknowledge that I am able to make those sacrifices and create a career like this because I have built myself up to it. I kept my 9-to-5 job for as long as I possibly could until I was able to start making soap and selling it full time. I've had to have a serious lifestyle adjustment in order to be able to sustain my family and my husband. Kayla and I have had to have some serious conversations. It's probably smart that one of us gets a full-time traditional job so that we're not completely relying on the business as our source of income. These are serious questions that you have to ask yourself. And if you're at the very, very beginning, there will be an element of hustle that you'll have to do in order to get to this point. That's where the passion part comes in, and that will carry you through those tough hustle years. And once you get on the other side of that, then you can decide, do I want to continue the hustle and continue working super hard and eventually get myself to becoming a millionaire? Or do I want to just accept the fact that I've built myself up to a life that is more than enough, that I'm so happy doing what I'm doing, and I'm grateful for the amount of money that I am making from it.